Hello, my name is Samuel Anyaele of the mobileprof.com. In the last video, we dealt with echo and how to output content on the terminal. Now, today we want to deal with cat. Cat is also a great way to output content on the terminal, but it's a bit more sophisticated than echo because cat will also enable you combine files into new files. Cat will enable you to also use things like piping, although yes, echo does that, but cat does helps you use things like piping easily, output or input redirects easily, and append. Cat's a great way to append content to existing content. Yeah. So without wasting much time, I want to delve into the video for today's class. Cats, short form for concatenate. Concatenate is an English word that you would find in programming a lot for combining things, combining content. So in the simplest example we can find for cat is displaying the content of the file. So cat new file.txt, which displays the content of the file, does the same thing that echo new file.txt does. So echo displays the content of the file, cat displays the content of the file. And the file is a multi-line file. You can see the file being displayed on the terminal with the multi-lines. Yeah, being displayed on the terminals with the multi-lines. Sometimes the file is really long, and so you have to keep scrolling to get to the end. When you are working with long files, so remember to scroll to the end, or use Q to quit if you are tired of scrolling, if it's a really, really long file. Next, I want to talk about append. Yesterday we saw echo. We saw that greater than sign that ensures that the file or the content that echo is outputting is outputted into a file. So that's greater than sign is an output redirect. So saying this output, instead of going to the normal output or the output option of or form where it's supposed to go to, which is the displaying it on the screen, displaying the content of that action on the screen. Instead of that, the results that you'll be about to get, put it in a file. So that's why it's called an output redirect. So it doesn't show you the content of the file. It just takes the content of the file and it does something else with it, which was in yesterday's class, which was to create a new file or to create a new content inside a file with one greater than sign. Now we are seeing something new. Seeing two greater than signs. These two greater than signs is called append. Append means don't overwrite what is existing in the file. That means the file on the left, which is new file.txt in this instance, is being added to the file on the right, which is first file.txt. So whatever it is that is inside of first file.txt doesn't get removed. Yes? New file.txt content is just placed underneath that one inside the same file. So after taking this action, yeah, what happens is that you have increased or imputed new content inside of first file.txt without deleting what's inside first file.txt. We'll see the content of first file.txt in the next line. So cat first file.txt. So we notice here what happened. We have our file. Originally, this is a file. In this file, we'll be writing our first sentence in a terminal editor. Now, because we've added content from new file.txt to it, it's reading, this is a file. In this file, we'll be writing our first sentence in the terminal editor. I bought 100 yesterday, which is what we got from new file.txt. So append is a great way to add content from a file to the end of an existing file. So you do not overwrite it by using one greater than sign. you append to it, which is to add to it by using two greater than signs. If you remember that new file.txt, so we had that error in echo, where instead of item, we're doing items. And so instead of saying I bought 100 tomatoes yesterday, it wrote I bought 100. I want to append several first file.txt, new file.txt to first file.txt. I want the result it brings. So we've appended new file.txt 4 times inside first file.txt. And the 4 times is appearing, I bought 100 yesterday, I bought 100 yesterday, I bought 100 yesterday, I bought 100 yesterday. So again, append, which is the double greater than sign, is used to add content to an existing file. Just add content to an existing file. Always remember that. But the one, which is the one greater than sign, which we're about to show you right now, again, would replace the content inside. So now, the only difference between the last command and the command that we are pushing out now is that we've removed one greater than sign in the command. And so we have, if you want to display what's inside our first file.txt, first file.txt has been replaced by just one line of I bought 100 yesterday. So notice it and be wary about it. The greater than sign, one greater than sign is a redirect output, which will replace the content of the file. 2 greater than signs is an append, which will add to the content of the file. So please do not mistakenly do one when you intend to do the other. The next thing we want to do is to combine. Again, remember concatenate is what cat is. So cat is concatenate. Now what that means is that you can join stuff. In this instance, you can join files. I want to join 2 files. I want to join first file.txt and terminal file.txt. I want to combine them and create a new file called combined.txt. Oh, there is an error here because that is first file.txt, not first file. So we didn't complete the command. First file.txt. So we are combining both, so it has run now, no errors. We're combining both into a file called combined.txt. If we do an ls, you see that combined.txt. If we do a cat combined.txt, we'll see the combination of both the first file.txt and then the file that we got from the home directory of our file manager. So the file now is I bought 100 yesterday. This is another file. This file we will store in a different location. That file, which is terminal file.txt, is found in the home directory of the file manager, not in the home directory of Thermos. Now, when you do not when you do not indicate a file as the input, so in all the commands that we've seen before, we do cat, the name of the file that is the input, then we do a redirect to the name of the file that is the output. In this instance, we do not want to indicate any inputs and then want to indicate the output file. So cat redirect output to brand new.txt. Since there is no input, it expects that you want to start typing because the primary input on a Linux terminal is the keyboard. In fact, on a computer, the primary input is the keyboard. So if you do not indicate the inputs for that output redirect, it would merely give you an opportunity to start typing content. So as you continue to type content, if you press enter, enter does not run a command in this instance. Enter pushes you to the next line, so it does not run the command. The only thing that will make this stop or that would indicate to cat that you finished editing this file is to use Ctrl+D, which is the end notation for the file that we are creating. So Ctrl+D would indicate to cat that, oh, I finished typing the text, save it for me in brand new.txt. And so you can start typing your normal commands again. If you do not do Control D, it will just keep putting enter, and then you would have a challenge with that. Now, if you do cat brand new.txt, which is the file we just created, we see the content that we just created in that file. If we are done in Nano, we'll still see this content in that file. So whatever it is we have typed in the file, we can view, or it's saved immediately. Now, the reason why I wanted to show this next command, same command that we ran before, is that each time you run it, it overwrites what's existing, because you're using a redirect output, which is 1 greater than sign. Anytime you use 1 greater than sign, it would replace the content of the file that you are adding content to. So it won't add the content, it will just remove all the content in that file, and it will put the brand new one for you. So you can do append if you want to do append. So again, append is 2 greater than signs. So cat is a very, very powerful Linux command. So take out the time to fiddle around with it. Figure out how to use its flags, because you find it very useful when we get to the class for the script, shell scripting, which is a way of automating tasks using Linux terminal commands. Yeah, you will find cat especially useful. Read up on redirect inputs, read up on redirect outputs, read up on piping. A pipe. So a redirect output is a way to tell the command to run, and whatever the result is, yeah, push it into a file. A pipe, on the other hand, is commands. So you run a command and you pipe it into another command. So the output for one command becomes the input for the second command. So the second one is not a file, it's a command. In redirect outputs, most times second is a file where you want to store the content or the results that you've gotten. However, piping pipes into another command, so the command will continue from where the last one stopped. So it's not covered in this class, but it's a great lesson for you to Google and learn by yourself. Thank you very much for coming to today's class. We'll stop here. The next video we are going to do will cover how to find files within directories, how to find files inside subdirectories, or directories inside subdirectories. Thank you very much again. My name is Samuel Anyale of themobilecorp.com. See you in the next video.